We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
Saying his goodbyes. He blew his eye socket off and his eyeball fell out.
White women keep kidnapping us. Y'all seen The Blind Side?
Aren't you glad we have that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode?
It's going to come in handy for this episode.
This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Raps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Raps, where the big boys play.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all around the world, it is time for the most amazing, most anticipated podcast in the world, The Voice Party, featuring co-host JD Arandia to my immediate right, amazing lead singer of Tomorrow's June, Marcos Molinar, yours truly, Corday Snell, Phil Spruner on the boards, one of the most amazing producers on the planet, and our wonderful guest, musical guest, Double.
Thank you for coming all the way out here, bro, from Modesto, California.
Thank you.
How long of a drive was that?
About an hour, 15 minutes.
No, not too crazy.
Nah, not too bad. I work in Oakland, so.
Okay.
Oh, you're used to it.
Yeah, well, I work all over the Bay Area. My yard's in Oakland. I do demolition.
Okay.
Some gangster stuff.
Destroying shit.
It was crazy.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, I go in on knock walls down, whatever.
How long can you do?
I'll take out all this insulation.
Damn.
If this was like a regular building with like rooms and stuff, it would just all be all cement in the walls. That's it. And then we take out.
You have a lot of fun.
The AC units and everything. We gut everything out.
Is it a lot of fun?
Yeah, especially you're
having a bad day.
I don't have no gray hair yet because I'm always taking that shit out. Fucking smash walls and shit. I'm like Wreck-It Ralph.
I heard that.
But I never used to do that before. I used to be in produce back in the days, just stacking bananas and cucumbers and shit. Like, and then I go to this and I'm like, damn. Now I'm working with my people, and my people work hard. The Mexican people, they do some.
You ever stay out like late at a show? Well, first let's tell people what you do.
Well, I'm a double. I'm a rapper, singer, music producer. I make beats. Yeah.
Knowing what you do now, though, I don't know you did demolition.
Yeah.
You ever stay out late at a show and then have to work the next day? And
hell yeah.
That's got to be hard.
Yeah. Well, all my life I've been used to waking up early and getting like 3-4 hours of sleep every night, you know. That's why I got these bags on my fucking eyes and shit. But I always say I'll sleep when I die, you know, hopefully. Unless they're with a whip in hell or wherever I'm at, you know. Cracking it.
Gonna be a ghost. Haunted. You can't even sleep. You come back as a ghost.
know, I'm like,
haunting people. Be like, I thought I was supposed to be asleep.
You're not using the jackhammer
between them and
right.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
How long have you been making music for?
Shit. Nah, that's a good question. Well, I've been doing it since like 99.
99?
But yeah.
How fucking old are you, bro?
I'm fucking as old as the universe. I don't really like to say the age because it's just like I like people guessing, you know, how old is this guy? How old is this guy? Because I don't know, music keeps me youthful, I think.
Because you said no grades now, that makes me wonder.
But in 99 I was
I could do math. So
I was doing some fucking.
You can't do math.
I was doing my heavy metal shit.
Oh, so okay. So you started off doing heavy metal.
Yeah, I was. That was my heavy metal, and then I had a few bands in '99, and then 2002 I had the first band I was in. It was called it was a cover band, but it was a cover band for like all these underground music artists like punk and metal, and there was this one band from Oakland called Dystopia that we used to cover. They were a pretty sick ass fucking crazy ass band. The drummer would fucking hella scream and shit, and it was like a 3-piece, and they used to talk about like all kinds of like what was wrong with the world and shit. Fucking
punk rock.
It was punk rock. Yeah, it was fucking dope though. Like I was hella into that shit. So we used to cover them, and then we used to cover this band called Zao back in I think they're from like Pennsylvania. They're like the Bible Belt and shit, and they were a Christian heavy metal band, and I was like, what the fuck? Like when I first heard them, I was like, that ain't no Christian music. That's like straight from the depths of hell, you know?
There's a
Like,
lot.
they're like,
Yeah, there's a lot. I just found out about that recently. There's a lot of those that are like singing about Jesus, but
that
like
shit-
rural.
that
Like,
shit's fucking crazy. I was like, and they're throwing their guitars.
Died for my sins.
And back in the days, the San Francisco used to have this club called the Pound, right off of like, I forgot where it was at, but it was a dope ass venue that like you would see all these like bands underground and shit. I remember I went there to go see them, and fuck, I remember we were in the pits, fools are fucking throwing arms and kicks and shit. I'm like, fuck, these guys are crazy.
the hardcore era, right?
You get socked and you're like, oh shit, gotta give one back, you know? Like, but yeah, I was hella into that music, and when I grew up in San Jose.
Oh, okay.
I was born and raised in San Jose, and then after high school, I moved to Modesto, and that's where I met all my friends. And I had a couple of friends that like were starting to learn how to play guitar or bass or drums and stuff. And then I was like, I kind of know how to play guitar too, and we'd start playing our little songs, and then we started covering all these bands, and we just started going like. There was this place in Vallejo we went, I forgot what it was called. It was like a boys and girls like club downtown Vallejo. And damn, I forgot what it's called.
Boys and Girls Club?
It was like a little...
That's literally what it did.
No, I know, but
It was like a bar. Not a bar, but for kids to come and hang out.
Like a juice bar?
Probably, like, it was crazy, but they would
jungle
have
gym?
bands come out there. I forgot what the fuck it was called. It was something...
Like the Gilman, but...
Yeah, it was like the Gilman,
I
but
think I
it
know what
was...
you're talking about, yeah.
It was in Vallejo, downtown
It's one of those
Vallejo.
all ages clubs.
Yeah, I remember I went there, and I've never been to Vallejo before, but damn.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. I remember I borrowed my parents' Dodge Durango to fucking, it was like brand new. And I remember this little kid's like, we got out of the car, me and my bandmates, and we had our equipment in there because we were looking for the venue. And then the little kid's like, hey, is that your car? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna steal that shit. And I'm like, fuck. He's like 12 years old, and I was like, fuck.
That's when you were in
the band.
The band?
He said, fair warning.
Our band was called Crustalafucalacarcalis. Fucking crazy ass name, bro.
Punk?
Punk, metal, fucking whatever. It was just as wild as the name.
How old were you guys? Like 19?
Yeah, about 19. So you're like doing the math now. Oh shit.
I got you, bro.
But
so that's you started off in metal. And punk bands, yeah.
But then I didn't want to do covers no more. I was tired of that shit. I was just like,
because that's how everyone starts.
yeah,
right?
everyone starts covers, but then some people just stay doing covers, and then you see them downtown fucking playing the local bistro or something. You know, it's like, fuck, dude. Like, you got so much talent, and you're just, I don't know. I don't have nothing.
or you're 50 years old and you're playing
Yeah, you know,
Beach
it's just
Boys
like
every Thursday night.
I've always wanted to be known for my own music, not
Sure.
play someone else's music all the time and be like, oh, you did a great job on a fucking Kenny Loggins track or something, like, you know, like whoever the hell that is.
Shout out to Kenny Loggins.
Yeah,
No disrespect.
Nah, all of a sudden he has hella hits. He's gone viral now.
The most streamed artist on
Yeah.
Spotify for the last 2 months, thanks to this Voice Party episode.
Kenny Loggins releases a I Double diss track.
Oh shit! He starts covering my music. Exactly. Fuck, makes hella money, and I'm still poor.
The irony.
But and then I got out of that band because I was like tired of doing covers.
Getting robbed by 12-year-olds.
Yeah, I was just like, 12-year-olds. I was like, fuck.
They love Durangos.
My parents were missing their hubcaps and shit. I didn't even know we had hubcaps. I thought it was rims. But then I started another band called Sunless Summer with one of my good friends. He was just learning how to play drums, but me and him would get together and we started writing our own like shit, and I felt like the freedom. And then one of my other boys from my old band, the Crustalafucalacarcalis, he came over to our band and he played keyboards, synths, and he sang. He had a good voice. He could do he could sing hella good, like hella melodic and shit, and then he had a fucking crazy ass like.
So is this band softer?
No, it was actually a
Heavy?
mix.
Okay.
It was heavy and like melodic and clean. Like I used to love playing in clean tones too.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Clean
Like
tones?
like not distortion.
Yeah, no distortion.
Like a lot of pedals are like effects.
Like build it up. Yeah, I used to love delay.
Yeah.
On my guitar a lot, and
you could have a nice clean
and
delay.
reverb. And
Yeah.
I had some nice guitars.
Can you describe what delay and reverb are, just so we
Yeah, reverb would be
like do 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 do?
that'd be delay. So delay is like
Yeah.
dun, 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 and then like reverb would just be like the echo you hear in a large room.
Got it.
You know.
It's like kind of what Chino uses on his voice a little bit. Yeah, delay. It's like
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes your like tone go a little bit longer, you know, like
Every
you can hold a note.
Every record
longer.
you've ever heard in your life
Has
has mixed some kind of reverb or delay in a
Every
vocal.
genre, too.
Every genre, because if you hear our voices right now, that's how we sound when we record.
And you know
It's
what?
very dry and it
Yeah.
cuts off very fast. So like when you're recording over a guitar or something, you want it to resonate a little bit over something,
People
and
use
that's
that
how it
on
mixes
acoustic
together.
too, right? Acoustic instruments.
You put it on anything and
anything
everything
you want. Spice
Drums.
it up. That's how you.
You've been lied to, bro. I thought the instruments just sounded like that.
No.
You might do like a little hammer on or something and be like, oh, okay, cool.
So you change genres basically.
Yeah, when I was growing up in San Jose, I lived on the street in the east side of San Jose. It was like half nice neighborhood and half ghetto. The further you went down to the East Hills, so like all my friends lived next to the East Hills. Like I forgot what road it was, but it was just like straight hood, like down that way. And
Is that like where Stories?
yeah, a little before Story, it was like Alum Rock. Like McKee, damn, I haven't been there in so long because once I left, I was like, I'm out. But
Yeah.
but when I was growing up, I had a good friend. He would always be playing rap music and shit, and so I always like rap music. The only reason how I got into rock was because of my uncle. I used to live with my grandparents back in the days, and my uncle was still living there too, and he was like a fucking fan of Jimi Hendrix and like all the old school classic rock and stuff. And then I remember one time I always wanted to be like him because he always had like the hottest girls. He had the nicest cars in like high school. He had like a Corvette, a Porsche, because my grandpa was like a car salesman, but a used car salesman. He wasn't but he always gave my uncle like hella nice ass cars and shit. And then
That's the life right there.
yeah, so like
Good music.
I'd always see my uncle come home. He would never like stay because he'd always be out and about, but he would always bring these hotties over and stuff, and then I'd be like, damn, I want to be like my uncle. And then so I was like, one day my grandpa took me to the flea market in San Jose, and I saw this like Punjabi guy selling a fucking guitar, and I asked him how much, and he's like, oh, $25. And I was like, fuck, all right, I'll buy. It was like a Mustang Jaguar, like Japanese reissue, like copy. So I was like, fuck, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna learn how to play this. So whenever my uncle comes over, I can impress him and shit, you know. I didn't know shit.
Got
on
any
the
girls
guitar.
for me?
Yeah. I was like, fuck. So like, he saw that I was like, I got into that. So that's how I got into guitar and shit. But I've always been into rap music because growing up on the east side, you gotta be a little hood too, you know. But
Especially now. Fuck.
I hear some stories over there now, but yeah, I was in that band Sunless Summer till like 2002. So I took like a break, and then I was working just in produce and for like a couple more years. And my boy that I used to work with, he's like, hey man, you want to buy this beat machine from me? He's like, I'm selling it for $200. It was a Kai MPC 1000. And I was like, fuck, I'll buy it. It was a sampler, a beat machine sampler. So I was like, I'll buy it. I don't know how to use it.
It just has hella different.
Yeah, so like I fucking bought that off of for $200. It was regularly like $1,000 in the fucking in the store. So I was like, $200, I'll fucking spend that, you know. And then I had a bunch of records and a record player, and I just started making my own beats and shit. And I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, get hella lit and just fucking
make beats.
Fucking make beats, you know. Just so I learned that, and then then my sister was dating this, or it was like her friend from work, and he was like when I first saw him, I was like, damn, this boy's like hella nerdy. It was like a little white boy, hella nerdy white boy. But he would come over and she's like, yeah, he raps and shit. And he rapped in front of me. I was like, God, I was blown away. I was like, shit. And then he told me he's been in the scene for a long time. So I was like, fuck. So he was kind of like my mentor to me. Like he heard that I was making beats, and then I was like, fuck, I want to rap too. But before then, like one of my good friends, he had his own studio in Modesto, and it was called Polygraph Records. And then that's where my friend Nick Fuck and Cobalt 45, like a bunch of local rappers, a bunch of good friends of mine, they were always over at the house rapping and stuff. And then my friend Drew, the one that owned the studio, he would always tell me to come and like he would have some beats, and he would say lay down some guitar work on it. So that's how I got into it. I was just laying guitar work down, but then when I would sit there, I would listen to them rapping and stuff. I was like, I can do this too, you know. And then I was just like, fuck. So like
all the things you're mentioning, it's just you watching some guy do, like,
yeah,
I want to do that too.
I'm like, fuck. It's like, because like in life, a lot of people, all you have to do is just do it. Like, you know, if you want to do something, you just go and do it.
Absolutely.
Like instead of like later on in life, you're like, fuck, man, I should have did that, but I didn't. You know, you get all like, but a lot of things, I mean, I'm not saying go out and do like 30 backflips or something, you know, but
you can.
Yeah, you can if you train yourself to do it.
It also seems like you picked up on a lot. Like you were just a duck to water with a lot of things. Like, did anyone show you how to use the MPC?
I
played around with it and figured it out.
I don't even think YouTube was out back then when I was fucking learning that shit. I think all we had was like, I think we had a mobile phone. I think, but I don't know.
That's sometimes the best way to learn.
Yeah,
you know,
you
just fuck around with stuff.
Yeah, just get it. I think that's
I mean, it's really the only way to learn.
Really?
I mean, even with YouTube today, like they'll show you the basics, be like, hey, this is how you turn it on. This is blah blah blah. But then like, how you really start making like crazy shit is when you're like, you accidentally do something that you didn't mean to do, and you're like, oh, this makes that sound.
There's so many buttons on that thing too. I'm like, damn.
What is it like? Is it like
it's like a box here?
Yeah, it's like a little rectangular little box. It has a bunch of like little square pads. Like think it's
it's like the one that DJ Han from Linkin Park uses.
Yeah, you just
you
can do like finger drumming and stuff.
Yeah. Jay Dilla, Kanye West, like they've all used the MPC.
Yeah,
you can make it sound like anything, right?
Yeah. Well, as long as you could like sample, well, they'll have sound kits, and then you could sample records and stuff and get shit like that off of it.
You could download some stuff into it, but like it's not like a MIDI controller per se.
Okay.
So like
it's like the size of that thing.
No, maybe a little bigger.
There's one that is like that, and it is a MIDI controller. It's called the MPC One, or not the. Or
you still have it?
I actually I've been through hell of MPCs.
Dang, it's been a long time since
because
back then when you didn't know how to use something, you had to call manufacturer.
Well, I sold that one. I sold it because my buddy, the same guy that had the studio, he was like, hey Isaac, I got these MPC 5000s right now. If you want to fucking, I'm selling them for $500. And at that time they were they were like $5,000, I think.
That's a steal.
So I was just like, I was like, fuck paying rent this month. I'm fucking buying that shit. I'll find a way. I'll go recycle cans. I don't give a fuck. You know, like I'm getting that. That's like my dream. So I sold that MPC 1000, I think, for $300. So I made $100 off of it, and then I only had to come up with $200 for the 5,000. So I was like, ugh. So I got that, and then I think out of all my MPCs, that was one of my favorites because the sounds on that and in the bank and how you could just sample from that one. It was so dope. And then I had to sell that one like later on because I had to pay my rent, and I was like, fuck, I was struggling at the time because I had a kid with my ex, and I was just like, fuck, now it's time to be a family guy. But
have you been able to be steady? Like, because when I first met you, was at a show. You were performing.
Yeah.
It was at Mutiny Radio. They do that.
Can you guys, for those who don't know, can you explain what this is?
For our listeners
First of
and
all,
our
why are you
viewers.
laughing?
Because Media Radio is a very interesting place, ran by a very interesting person. So, yeah. And it's like on the corner of this neighborhood where there's no parking.
Yeah, that's what sucks.
I heard it used to be a coffee shop that they turned it into like kind of like a thing for like music
Independent
and comedy, independent radio. They do open mics there. They do shows.
A lot of comedy there before, right?
Yeah, a lot of comedy there, but then it kind of like got watered out because like no changes, like no upgrades to it, like got better over time. But then I remember the best thing about it for me was that they did a Monday night open mic where you would go up and do your jokes, and then the comics would comment on, like, give you tags, stuff like that. So it was like
Phase on Love did there, right? The Phase on Love was there one night.
I think
were
so.
you there?
No, I wasn't there. I
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
there.
okay.
Nah, I
What
wasn't.
city?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I got invited to just be sitting there with I don't know what the hell it was, to be honest. I got
Is
invited.
this on
to,
AM radio or FM?
I think it's online mostly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I got invited there. I thought I was invited to do stand up. I was just invited to like watch and critique the music by the homie El Walgreens. I didn't know what the hell. I didn't even know the guy.
Yeah.
So I went there, and then he's performing, and I saw he's like setting up his own speakers, and that's how I met you.
Yeah.
So at that point, how many years have you been?
Well, I started rapping.
Well, shit, it's 1999. So
but I actually started rapping in 2006.
Oh.
I was in this with my friend, the nerdy guy.
Yeah.
Shout out Drist. He lives in Seattle now. Me and him started this group called the Hope Lost Romantics. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, Hope, you're the Hopeless Romantics." No, we're the Hope Lost, because for some reason, like, that fool could rap hella good, and he was like the hope, and I was like the lost, bro. Because
you sound sad.
My music is very, it's kind of dark. And
sad.
It's
heartbroken.
Like, it's my fucking feelings out there. That's why I started rapping, because I was like, I used to write a lot. Just shit that would go on with my life and shit, and I was just write, and it was just kind of a way of therapy to me. But then I was like, oh shit, I could add beats to this shit. Hell yeah! So that's how I became me, you know, like
it's teardrops on.
Yeah, I'm
on
like
the paper.
fucking cholo tears and shit. Fuck. But yeah, me and him, we had this group called the Hope Lost Romantics, and fuck, I thought I was gonna make it with that guy. Like, we had like we had a cool following in Modesto and shit, and we got to perform like everywhere and stuff around there, and hella chicks would come to our shows and shit, and I'd be like, fuck, like,
turn into your uncle,
yeah, I
bro.
was like, damn. I was like, damn. Like, I had every show, like, there was always like a group just like, and I'd be like, fuck, which one do I want to go hang out with, you know, and see where it takes me, you know. But then me and him, we kind of went through some like relationship problems, like, because of fucking girls. So it's like, fuck, man. So we kind of
like you guys had the
like, if we were dating, but then like I would tell him like, fuck, you gotta stop hanging around this girl, because she's just, you know, she's just wasting your time. Because me and him back in the days, we used to fucking every day after work, we'd go make like 2 songs, like
every day.
And then we'd go in. He had this little it was like a Ford Bronco or something like that, or a Chevy Blazer, I forgot which one. But we'd go in there, we'd drink like Crown and Coke every day, go into this little studio, make 2 songs, come out with 2 songs, and then we'd go in this little car and we'd blaze it, and then we'd just listen to the shit, and we'd like see if we need to change it or anything, you know. And then we'd like, fuck, no, everything's good, you know. So we were doing that for hell. Me and him had a hell of songs every day, and then all of a sudden
2 songs every day.
Yeah, so it was just like, it was kind of cool, like, go to work and then go do that, and then go back to work, go do that, you know. And I got used to that shit. But then he started falling in love with this girl, and then I was like trying to tell him like, hey bro, like, not to hate, but I just think, you know, And then he would get mad at me for that, so we kind of like went our separate ways.
But, like you're telling him she's distracted.
Yeah, it was kind of distracting because we there were some times that we would have to.
I thought you guys were fighting over a group.
No.
Oh, that's it for a second.
It was just sometimes like our time was. It should have been spent in the studio. Yeah. It was getting distracted. It was distractions pretty much that broke us up.
Did she ever come to the studio to hear y'all record or anything?
Nah, because it was at his parents' house, and it was just she was kind of like, I never really saw her ever. I remember like one time I think at a party, but then it was like they would take off right after, you know.
Are they still together?
Nah, they fucked.
Damn, so that's what
it was like 2-3 months after we broke up. He wasn't even with her anymore, and then he met another girl. He married her, and it's cool. Like he found the ultimate goal, you know, and he lives in Seattle now, and he has a family and everything. But he's still a dope rapper, and we've actually done some songs like 2 years ago. I think I sent him some beats and.
Oh, so you guys haven't made it?
Yeah, we're still good.
But it's different now.
But
He's
it's
not
just,
in it like he
man,
was.
I feel like if we would have kept going, we would have fucking been like maybe touring cities and stuff.
Damn.
Because it was just like we had this one song called Check Your Sneakers, and it was like a dance, like all the bitches would go out there and be like, I just had like, it was like a chant song because I'd be like hope, lost, romantics, and it was like romantics, and then it was a pretty dope song. Like my lyrics weren't that good, but like it was dope, you know, like. And then he would like fucking murder it because he'd come after me, and I would be like, fuck, hell yeah, you know. But fuck,
was this there in the hyphy era?
I think so, but. We never were like hyphy or nothing like that. We were just like doing your own thing. We were just doing our own thing, whatever was coming out from drinking Crown and Coke, you know, and blazing it like. But it was just it was a good. I learned a lot from him, and he was like my he took me under his wing, and he was like my mentor, and I'm hella grateful for that, you know.
What made you decide to just do your own thing eventually? Well, because it's like you went through hella bands, and then now it's just you.
Well, yeah. After we split up. I kind of went with I got a girlfriend, and then I ended up having a kid with her, and then I took time off. We came back again like in 2012 to play this. They used to have this club in Modesto called Fat Cat, and it was a dope ass venue, and but they closed it down, and we did like 2 songs. We made a new one, and we did like Check Your Sneakers, and everyone fucking loved it, and I thought we were gonna come back, but then. We did it, and then I had my son to raise, so I had to be a family man. And then in 2015, that's when I started my solo shit.
2015.
Yeah, that's like I was getting a haircut from my boy because my boy cuts hair at this salon or this haircutting spot in Modesto. It's called Tangle Tees, and the girl that owns it, she's a hella cool friend. They do they do like not bluegrass, not country, but kind of like bluegrassy, kind of folk music. Yeah, that's what it is. They're really popular around there, and they're always playing like everywhere and stuff. And she was having this like benefit show, and because I think her mom's house burned down or something, so they're trying to raise money, and then my boy was living with me at the time, and I was like, he told me about it, and I was like, well, try to see if I can get on there, do a couple songs, you know. I had a few songs that I was working on, and then he's like, all right. So she actually gave me the shot to be on that, and then I met like some people there, and I did like 6 songs, I think, and it was cool. I was like, damn,
you're back.
I'm back, but I'm doing it on my own because I was always kind of scared because I always had my friend to the side of me, like. Because when you're up there by yourself, it's like, fuck, all eyes on you, you know? And it's like, fuck. But when you have someone up there with you, you feel a little more comfortable.
So that was your first time performing by yourself?
Yeah. That was the first time. And then since 2015 to now, I've been solo. And actually, the pandemic, like, fucking hella helped me out, I think. Like, I started, since we couldn't go nowhere or do nothing, you know, in pandemic, I was on Instagram. Like producers were hitting me up, like the first one, or actually this kid from LA hit me up. His name's Lethal. Shout out to Lethal. Lito. That's what he goes by. But when I met him, I think he was like 15 or 16 years old, and he sent me some bangers, and I was like, damn, you made these? And he's like, yeah, like, and so like he got me back into it too, like, because it was like more like trappy beats and stuff, and like I was like, let me see if I could like sing on this too and like change it up, you know. I didn't want to just do the same thing that everyone else was doing.
Yeah, because you rap and you sing.
Yeah, I love to sing. Like, I don't know. I think I got it from my mom, because man, every time she'd be cleaning the house, she'd be all singing and shit and like opera, and I'm like, God damn, Mom, just vacuum.
Well, you were gonna say something about that.
Oh no, I was earlier when you were talking about how you realized you came back. I was going to compare you to the Phoenix, like you were rising from the ashes, completely reborn at that point.
Hell yeah. I have a song. I like to compare myself as a Phoenix because, I don't know, a lot of people talk shit about people that are into their zodiac sign and shit, but I'm like hella into that shit too. I might be like a girl or something, but because you know they're always talking about the zodiac, but I always I'm a fucking Scorpio, so like I see the Scorpio gang, you know, like we like represent that shit, and like, and one of our like things is the Phoenix rising from the like, because all the time I always feel like, fuck man, sometimes life's hard, and then it doesn't really last those hard times, you know. You always there's always a way that I always think that I can get out of that situation and come back, you know, and do rise from the flames, you know.
So it was like 10 years of no music for you.
I think so, yeah.
But were you still fucking around in your room?
Yeah, I was still in my room. Like whenever time I didn't, my ex would let me like escape from baby duties, you know. But
that's why you were
working, you know, like because I had to put food on the table and pay for everything. But it's just, you know, that's part of life when you have a kid. You know, you gotta raise them, because like growing up, I lived with my grandparents because my mom, she had me when she was like 17, I think. And then my dad, I didn't even know who the fuck he was ever. Like,
oh shit.
Then and then my mom would tell me it was like somebody else, and it wasn't really him. Like my last name, it's not even my real fucking last name. Wow. It's like, it was like the dude that she was dating, but it wasn't his kid. And then I was like, what the fuck, you know, like, and then I finally met my dad like I think in pandemic, or like in 2019.
Oh shit,
recently. Or 2020, I think it was. Yeah, right before pandemic, I met him. But then I was like, I was always wondering all my life who he was. But then I have some like traits of him. But then like when I fucking met him, I was like, nah. I'd rather just
next.
Oh yeah, you know, like fuck.
I like the dude you was dating.
Yeah, and then when I met him, he was like, "Damn, I really loved your mom and all this and that." And then me knowing my mom, I was like, "Fuck, my mom won't even give you another chance." You know, like they were just like a one day thing. You know, like fuck, you got lucky.
Wait, so how did you meet him? You just
through Facebook. One of my sisters found him for me on Facebook.
Social media.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
People together.
And his last name is Munoz. So like, so I guess my last name should be Munoz, but well, actually, his nephew is a comedian. Pete Munoz.
That's why I looked at him. I was about to say it because you said Munoz.
Yeah,
so I was like,
I know you comedians would know.
We looked at each other. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
because it's San Jose.
It's fucking
Munoz.
crazy. Yeah.
So that's your cousin.
I haven't met him yet, but that's what
You haven't met him?
That's what my sister from my dad's side, because I have two other sisters and a brother.
Oh shit!
But only one sister has reached out to me, and she actually lives in Modesto too.
Oh.
And so I didn't know she was living there for like 2 years. So, but I met her. She's hella cool with me. Yeah. But my her brother and her sister, for some reason, they don't want to like know who the fuck I am or anything like that.
Okay. Some people, they just I know, like they don't even want to.
Yeah, so it's just like it is what it is. Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have your dad, you know, that's your dad, and
or that too.
Yeah, you know,
like, you guys have vastly different. experiences.
I was like,
you could have been a great dad to them.
That's true.
Yeah,
and then they're like, we don't want this guy coming in like ruining.
He's gonna
fuck things up. You know what I mean?
He gonna steal my
We don't like your songs.
Yeah.
So many different ways to look at this.
Yeah,
Instead of being
so-
like,
how
I
did-
get to meet an older
We'll get
brother.
to know
I didn't
you
know I
once you get more
had.
Yeah.
How did it feel as an adult meeting your biological dad?
I was kind of nervous.
Yeah.
But then like
You met him in person though.
Yeah, I met him in person.
Okay.
My sister, he came down because he's from New Mexico. He lives in New Mexico.
Okay.
In like Albuquerque or something like that.
Oh, I got some family out there.
He loves them Navajos.
Yeah.
I found out he has like 10 other kids.
Oh.
Fucking over there, bro.
It's a
like
big tribe.
Yeah, he's
Oh, so that's why they was mad. They
He's
thought
a
you was
player.
one of them. Like, oh,
yeah.
come up here from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
The craziest thing is like, you don't want money, do you? When he met me, and I was like, bro, I don't want no money, bro.
What, he said that?
Yeah, I was just like, fuck. So that like, I don't want no money. I just
You should have been like,
I just
whatever.
want to know who the fuck you were, bro, and like that's it. Like,
Hey, you should have
started a
Yeah.
conversation.
You should have found out how much the new board costs. It's like, you know what?
Actually, I do need some money.
yeah.
What are they worth now? Like 35?
What?
Those boards, the ones he's talking about,
NPCs.
the NPCs.
Oh, they don't really make those ones anymore. Did they?
They
Didn't
do,
make
but
NPCs?
now they have
No,
the
but
live.
the same
I
model?
had a NPC live too, and I just sold that. Fuck! I used to take that shit with me everywhere because it was standalone. You could plug it in. It had a battery,
They still make the
rechargeable battery in it for 4 hours. It would last, or you could plug it in. I used to take that shit. I was doing some jobs in Monterey at the naval base, and after work, I'd go to the beach and fucking just play with that shit out on the beach, just trying to make some beats and relax.
So when you make it, sorry, I'm just gonna go back to that. That's the first thing, you don't want money, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh. Hell.
Yeah, he's right. Like, fuck. Cracks another Bud Light. Fucking Bud Light drinkers.
He's like, cheers. But so you were nervous the whole time? Me, like, you know, like. Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You when you see that, like, you see a lot of similarities, I'm sure.
Well, I was always into like wrestling and stuff. Like, I was never into wrestling and stuff, but my mom would tell me that, oh yeah, your dad was like a wrestler in high school and shit. And so like I used to do kind of like martial arts back in the days before I had my kids. So I was like in hella good shape, and I was always running, and I was like kind of doing mixed martial arts stuff. So I was like learning all that shit and kickboxing and everything, and then I fucking had a kid and got that dad bod. Fuck, bruh.
And was he?
Yeah, he was like an athlete and shit, and so I was like, oh, so that's why I like to do that kind of shit, you know.
You also, this is a trip, bro, because like we just had an exclusive moment here. So you're related to Pete Munoz, and all. And
I think that's what I've heard.
And his
from my
brother
sister.
too. I know them.
Yeah.
You know. His brother's also in a band in San Jose.
Oh shit.
So it's like a trip because you know you do what you do.
Yeah.
It's like we were just talking about this the other day. It's like I have another friend who's a comedian also.
Yeah.
And he found out like he has family through his real dad.
Yeah.
It's another friend of mine who's also a musician. It's like you're related and you end up, you know,
It's in the bloodline.
it's in the blood, bro.
Yeah,
Creative.
that's what I always say. I was like music's in my code.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are always like on Instagram, a lot of like promoters will DM me and they're like, oh, I fuck with your music, this and that. Keep going and doing this shit. And I'm like, well, I never said I'm going to stop. And then I'm like, it's never been about money for me.
Yeah.
When I started creating music, it wasn't because I'm like wanting money.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because
I was gonna ask you
it's
that.
like therapy to me.
Love
It's
it.
like, I love it. And to me, it's a lot of feeling and
Is there
emotions.
a bigger goal though with music?
I mean, it would be nice to do music as my job, you know, to get paid for it, but like it doesn't that's not going to stop me if it isn't. Like because a lot of people too always say, "Oh, all these old guys are still rapping. When are you going to give it up?" And it's like, when did it become like if I was in a band
There's
as
no
a
expiration
guitarist
date.
or something,
Yeah.
you're not going to tell me, "Oh, when are you going to stop being in a
guitar.
band, playing a guitar, or singing?" You know, like, but only rap has that fucking.
Has that thing.
Oh no, I would say rock kind of has that too. Like bands
The
itself.
dad rock.
But
no, bands aren't getting that too.
I think it just depends on what you're fucking talking about, though.
But you know what? It's the climate of how independent artists are today. It's everyone, you know, you see on social media, you see on TV, everyone's trying to make it. Yeah. And so they automatically assume that everyone is trying to make it when you make music, when you release music. And you're like, hey, some people just like to make music. And you're like, hey, I love my job as a doctor, you know, and then on my side, I like to release music because I've been playing guitar all my life. Yeah. And if it blows up, just like you said, cool, I'll leave the hospital, no problem. But like, if not, I'm totally cool with
being where I am.
Yeah. I just like to do this. And if my buddy from high school likes this or doesn't like it, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah, you know? For sure. Yeah, because it's never really been about who's gonna like my music, because it was always me in my room fucking creating it by myself, you know. And then I always say, like, always people will be like, hey, so what's your favorite song? And I was like, all my songs are my favorite because I made them. Like, it was a moment in my life that I created that, you know. And and plus sometimes I'm like, I don't like to push myself to make music. I like it to naturally come, and because sometimes I'm like, fuck, where am I gonna get this lyric, or how am I gonna, you know, like, but then I'll make another song and I'm like, damn, that song was pretty cool, you know, like I didn't think I would create that, but I did. Like, it's
what's the longest the song's ever taken? Because I have that same process. Well, and sometimes you can get a song out in an hour and a half. Yeah. Sometimes it would take 2 years.
Well, I just started becoming a driver for my job. Like but our warehouse is in Oakland by the BART station off of San Leandro, and by the Coliseum, the Oakland Coliseum, and I dropped the truck off, and then it was time to go home. So I was driving home, and then I got rid of Apple Music on my phone, so all I've been playing is just what's on my phone. And then I heard this beat that came out, and it's from my boy Design Lukey. He's from North Carolina, but he's another beat maker that reached out to me in pandemic. But his beats are so they're not regular. They're more a lot of synths and stuff. It reminds me of it's like he's the one that made Me Against the World. That's a dope beat, that beat. Yeah, when I heard that shit, I was like, damn, that shit sounds like Deftones, kind of like a Deftones song, like damn, like it's sick. Like, and then I was just like, man, I'm just gonna sing on this shit. But I don't know how old he is. I think he's probably in his maybe his teens too, or maybe early 20s. I don't know. I've never met him. I've never seen a picture of him before, but he's sold me hella beats.
It sounds like if 9 Inch Nails made hip hop.
Yeah, he's pretty. He's pretty out there. Like
you heard it, right?
I heard it.
Yeah.
He got some, like, I like that. It gives me a feeling when I hear beats like that, because it's not the same trap beat, same hi-hats, and you know, it's like. But I don't hate on those either, because if I like it, I'll fucking write to it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'll try to do it my way, like whatever comes out of me. I don't try to copy somebody's like flow style or nothing like that.
That dude from North Carolina. Yeah. So he send you how many beats?
I don't even want to say how much he sells.
Oh no. How many he sold? Because
I have a lot of beats. Because
how many he
is that song Forever? The beat, is that one of his too?
Forever to be young, it don't last forever. Yeah. That is his beat.
Or The Past.
That's his beat too, bro. You can tell which his.
I downloaded those three songs because I like the beat and
The Past. I fucking wrote that shit because I was thinking about my friends, like. Fucking social media, bro. Like, I go on that shit and I'm like, damn, my homies nostalgic. Are like, they're married and shit. They got happy families and stuff, and I remember the good times that we used to have and stuff. So that's what I wrote that song The Past from, because I'm like, at the end, I call it the past, but at the end of my lyric, I don't say the past, but it's what I'm thinking about. About my homies, like. And then the relationships I've been in, where it's just like, fuck, dude, I'm going through one and I want it to be the one, but I don't know, I haven't found the right recipe yet.
Hey, you know? So this dude's beats make you feel nostalgic.
Yeah, they're very.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, when I told him, I'm like, dude, I was like,
North Carolina.
Your beats take me to another place. Like, you know, it's like I have a freedom to write to him. Like, I don't have like, I go in there and like. Oh, it has to be this way. It's just whatever comes out. It's like that's how I create too, the freedom. Out of you. Yeah, that's why it's like, fuck, I don't really want a record contract, because it's like they're gonna own all my music and they're gonna tell me how to do my music.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't want that stress or anything.
And that freedom to be.
Yeah, I want the freedom to create because that's what takes the fun out of it.
Yeah.
It's all about. It gives me joy. My music is like what I write. It might sound depressing as fuck, but it's me releasing that and I'm getting satisfaction out of it. You know, I'm feeling. That's why I'm like they're saying, oh. They tell a lot of rappers, oh, you don't how much money you make or whatever. It's like it's not to me. It's not about the money. It's about that feeling that you get. And I already feel like a rock star sometimes. You know, after you do a show, sometimes you get that fucking applause and from people you didn't even think were gonna applaud that shit, or people come up to you, new people you meet. Money can't buy that shit, bro.
No,
it's
no,
fucking,
it can't.
it's.
I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't think I was gonna like any of the music that day of that show.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whatever, you know. I'm just here, and you know, I don't think I'm gonna perform. So I was like pouty. I was like,
I think that day I did the past for the first time ever.
You did.
I think I did.
And I was feeling it, bro. I was like, oh, this
because I didn't have
dope.
it all the way memorized. I think I was reading off my phone and shit.
Yeah.
But that's why I like doing music at his spot because I didn't know. I forgot.
It's like an open mic for music.
Yeah. So I was like,
and I was like, whoa, this dude's beats are dope. And then that's why I was like,
thank you.
And I asked you, and then you said, oh, like the shirt I was wearing, that's an inspiration. I was like, that's what it is. And
like
that's what
shit.
I went and downloaded hell of your songs after
thank
that.
you, brother, man.
Yeah.
I got some lunch money finally. I know. I was like, because I have DistroKid. And where I distribute my music through that, you know, and
what is that?
DistroKid is how we download our music to DSPs like Spotify. Apple
It's like what we use for podcasts.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like instead of hitting up Apple Music yourself, trying to get through all that craziness, they do it like in a couple days. You know, they handle all that craziness for you. But it's I forgot they had a bank in there for all your streams and shit, and I looked at that shit and I was like, oh damn, okay, got some lunch money now. Like,
there you go.
Don't gotta go recycle cans or nothing, you know.
Right.
So,
but that's what it is. It's just about people streaming your music, and that's how you get paid nowadays. But or shows if they.
Well,
that's true.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask earlier when you were talking about labels being oppressive when it comes to the freedom of the artist. What do you think about like indie labels? Like, are you familiar with Rhyme Sayers Entertainment or Stone's Throw? One of my personal favorites.
Rhyme Sayers, they have a whole crew, don't like a lot of dope rappers have come out of them.
Yeah, like Idea. If I
Idea. One of my I don't. Fuck it, I'll say it anyways. There was this girl that I was hella into back in the days, and I made this album called Aquarius, like straight about her because she was an Aquarius.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know, those Aquarius, they lure me in somehow. I don't know what. I don't even know. They don't even have to say it. They just draw me to them because my other album, Maybe I Miss You, is about an Aquarius too. And I'm like, fuck. Maybe I miss her. Maybe I don't. You know, like shit.
You got Homeboy's beats in there making you feel sad.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, fuck. So like a lot of my shit, a lot of my music that I've written about it has been about like relationships and shit that I've been in and or hope to be in or something, you know. It's kind of like trying to manifest
that's what, like,
a little bit.
Someone was saying this on some video I was watching. A lot of the best love songs, you know, it all came from someone's heartbreak, even if they sound nice.
And I love that heartbreak shit, man. It gives me that cool feeling, and I don't know, I like that shit. I like being vulnerable like that. It's like when you're, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a shy person, but before like some shows and shit, you'll see me fucking pacing the room and shit, trying to remember my lyrics and shit. I know my shit. I've done it many times, but it's just like, fuck. How's the first word go? How's the first word go? If I don't unlock that first word, I'm fucked. You know, I'm like, damn, I'll have to look at my notes and shit. Even though I did that shit 1,000 times, bro, I'm like pacing and shit. I'm nervous as fuck. But then when I get up there, that nervous feeling and shit, it's great. Like, and then when you start feeling comfortable getting into your shit, and then people, when you hear the crowd and everything, it's just like, damn, that feeling's great, bro. It's like, but that feeling, that nervous feeling, I love that shit. Like, it's like,
a good,
it's like a good kick in the ass or something. Like, you know, it's like, fuck, like you feel like you're living, you know,
you're
like,
hella aware of everything.
Yeah, like that's what I like. But I don't know, I put myself out there. I always show my like feelings and emotions up there, like. And then I perform with I don't know, you guys know this old school rap artist. His name's Abstract Rude. He was in this crew called Haku d'Etat with AC Alone, and but I performed with him a couple, maybe 5 years ago, and I remember he saw me perform, and he's like, man, he's like, you perform with a lot of emotion, because it's like you can see it on my face and shit. I was like, yeah, because all this shit that I write about is like true shit that I've been through, you know, and like I like that. I
you
like
relive it on stage,
feeling real, you know, like it might look like I'm crying up there, but I'm not. I'm just like I don't know. I feel like I'm in a trance or something, you know. It's crazy. I don't see no one around me. I just do my thing. Like I feel like a snake up there or something. Like
like you're playing.
Yeah, like
a kid playing.
And then I get to hit the notes that I want, and it's just, I don't know. It's a dope feeling. Like that I say, money can't buy that shit feeling. You know, maybe I haven't tried the drug yet, but you know, I stick to herb. That's it. But
so right now, like you have a lot on your YouTube that people could go and find.
Yeah, on my YouTube, it's under I.
You have it on Spotify too?
Yeah, same thing. I try to keep just my name, I double.
Cause you got hacked, right?
Yeah, I got hacked. It was under I double. I had like 4,500 fans or something like that, followers, and then some girls like, oh, do you want to be?
They got you.
Do you want to?
She was an Aquarius.
Promote my clothing line or some shit like that. And I was like, all right, I'm down. And she was from like, I looked at her profile. I was like, 200,000 followers, fucking Hollywood, all this shit. I was like, oh shit. And I seen clothes and shit and everything on that. And then I was like, all right. So she sent me this link, and I fucking did the link. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm signed out of my fucking Instagram. And I try to sign back in. And it's like,
you had thousands of followers, huh?
Yeah, I had thousands. Like, it was the most I've had since, because like in pandemic, in pandemic, they gave me like $10,000 to stay at home. So I was just like, because in construction, the EDD, they gave me money, you know, so they stopped all the job sites. You couldn't do nothing. So I was at home, and I was like thinking to myself, I was like, okay, this money they gave me, this is like if I had a record contract, but for $10,000, all I gotta do is just write some music. So that was what, yeah. So I was like, you know, this is my time. I was like, I don't have to wake up early in the morning or nothing. I could do whatever the fuck I want. And at that time, I met this girl from Stockton, and she would come over on the late nights, and we'd stay up till hella late drinking and shit, and it was just a big party. But then I was like, damn, that's some inspiration
from
too.
Stockton.
Yeah. Well, she was actually from San Jose, but
that's even worse.
But she moved to Stockton. She was new to the area, so she needed to know that she needed to learn about the 209, you know. So I was like, all right,
come here, baby. Let me show you why I'm sad all the time.
So it was a fun time, and I wrote a lot of songs in pandemic. So I was just like, man. But that's how I put my mind state, like thinking like, oh shit, I got, like you said, in advance, and my job is just to create music, and
that's dope.
So that's what I thought of.
Yeah.
So I released like 3 EPs. I even released this EP with one of my little buddies that I met at a grocery store. My friend told me that he rapped, and when I first met him, my friend told him that I rap. So when he came up to me after bagging my groceries, he's like, hey bro, I rap. And he showed me all these like videos. Shout out to my homeboy Nick. And I finally we made an EP called COVID Days, COVID Nights, Quarantine Dreams.
Is that the one you just released?
Nah, that was in 2020.
Oh, 2020.
Yeah,
you just released something
like
too.
during pandemic.
Okay,
but that was a cool little project, me and him. And then because I always liked his little rap style, so I'm just grateful that I get to make music with other artists and stuff, and
people hitting you up.
Yeah, people hitting me up, like all these beat producers, my friend Lilito and Design Lukey, and also my in the pandemic, a producer from Argentina hit me up.
Wow.
A little youngin' too. His name's Benny Beats. I think he was like 17, 2 at the time.
Yeah.
But he had all these like slappers that I heard, and I was like, and he said he really wanted to be a beat producer, so he gave me a bunch of like, I think like 4 or 5 beats for free. And they were all they were cool. I made a lot of songs from those ones. And then I've been fucking with him ever since. Design Lukey, Lethal. And I have one more guy from I think like Sri Lanka or something like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
making hip hop beats.
Yeah, so but he's the only one that charges like hell of money. My other homeboys, they hook me up.
He charges you euros.
Yeah, like fucking rupees or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
damn.
rupees, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, bro. I'm like, and I think they're only like leases, so I was like, fuck.
Oh.
These other guys are giving me exclusives.
What's the difference? Sorry.
An exclusive is once you pay, you own it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And but leases, you can only stream it so many times before you have to pay another fucking fee to him again.
It has a watermark.
Yeah, it's like, but I'm like, bro, you live in Sri Lanka, bro. You ain't got internet.
You ain't gonna know.
Yeah, I'll just send an old used car from my grandpa to you guys because they're always on little scooters and shit.
Wait, so they hit you up just from watching your?
I guess
on
just
YouTube?
trying to see who they can get to be on their beats, but
They'll be clicking on their links. Bro.
yeah, but I know, fuck, that one fucked me up, man, because I lost all these memories of.
Yeah.
I had hella posts on my original account. A lot of pictures and videos that I fucking don't know what happened to him.
I think, Marcus, can you check his thing, make sure it didn't come unplugged?
Oh shoot!
Mine just cut out.
Yeah.
Might cut out.
Oh, my did?
Yeah. Can you talk?
Yeah. Must have been when I fumbled.
Yeah. The Sri Lanka guy heard you, bro. He's like,
He said, "Who ain't got internet?
who ain't got internet?
So you doesn't have internet.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta have you click on a link. I can just go through the podcast, live streaming."
What happened?
Or I was never.
Nah. So.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Well, I sent them a few of your songs, like to check them out before you came on. The first time, so when I left that day after you did the show, I was like, hey, so what's your name, man? And I right away I looked and I played it on the car leaving the show.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, and Me Against the World is like my favorite.
Yeah, that's
when
my
I wrote
favorite.
that
shit. I was feeling.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
I was feeling some good like.
The video's dope too.
Oh yeah, man.
The video's dope too. The girl's hot.
Because I asked my boy that shout out to Reeler.
Yeah.
2X. Oh, now I can hear myself. Yeah. I could hear myself hella good now.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
Yeah, Reeler 2X. That's my boy. He does all my videos. He was like, because since I make the music and if I get a videographer, they always ask me, how do you want it? I'm like, however you feel from listening to my song. That's how I tell them. I'm like,
you're a collaborator.
Yeah, I'm very collaborative. That's his job. His job is just to make the video. I'm not gonna go in there and be like, oh shit, rewind that back. I don't think you got the wrong
like
angle. Like my toe's too big on that.
I just looked at Phil's toes.
Oh shit, I did too.
I've been looking at your legs for the past 2 minutes.
I didn't walk in here. I was like, oh shit, some shorts.
You didn't know it was beach day, bro?
I did not know it was beach day, man. I did not know.
Bro, I looked at before I came over here.
Yeah.
I looked at the forecast and I was like, oh damn, it's only gonna be like 60 something. I'm like, I'm gonna wear a windbreaker. Shit in Modesto is like 100 and something.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck,
It's like
you gotta be in your chonies, you know?
yeah.
I got a question. Are you recording yourself?
Yeah, I have my own studio.
What are you recording on?
Pro Tools. It's like 10 years old though, my Pro Tools program.
Oh, you haven't updated yet?
Nah, I haven't updated because I'm scared because I have an old Mac Mini.
Yeah.
And it was from like 2012, I think.
It's still running?
Yeah, it's still running. I still got a lot. It's hella slow, but
yeah.
Every day I pray when I turn it on.
Are you upset about like the subscription stuff?
Yeah, I hate that shit.
I hate that.
I hate it.
Upgraded?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's how they make their money,
it's like
bro.
$1,200 to get like the newer Pro Tools.
Yeah.
And it's a subscription.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly pay.
Yeah.
Well, I think you could pay like the $1,200 like one-time fee or something like that, but then it's like every so often.
Yeah,
you have to pay,
it's like
another something.
Either 5 or 10 years later, they'll release another upgrade or something like that. And I know never to update my operating system because it's like if I do, I did that because I sold my MPC Live just recently, and I sold it to my buddy, and a while back I sold him my MPC Studio. It's just a MIDI controller to a program. It's not as big as that, but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna since you sold me your MPC Live, I'll give you back your Studio, so that way you could have something to play on. So I was like, damn, thanks, Dust. And
don't work no more.
But I fucking upgraded my shit the other day, and now
it's not compatible.
Now it doesn't work. So it's just it's just sitting there now. And I was like, I told my boy
Thanks
came over the other my boy came the other day. He's like, oh, how does this work? Good? And I was like, nah. I was like, you could have it if you want it. Just have it as some kind of thing on your table, you know. But
that's why I've been fucking with Logic a lot.
Oh yeah, I heard a lot of my friends fuck with Logic and they love it.
It's $200 flat rate, and then anything you add on is up to you.
Yeah, my boy recorded me with Logic.
No, it's a completely different. So all the different ways, like programs that you can record on, like FL Studios, they're all very different on how you even get started, right? Pro Tools is kind of, GarageBand?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just
that's like starters for starters.
It's starters, and that's why Logic became very popular because it was very user friendly right away. Pro Tools, first off, wasn't super accessible for everyone, and then if you did get it, it took forever to learn how to use.
Yeah,
it took years and years.
It's hard to.
And if you had GarageBand on your phone or something, like blah blah blah, you could play around with it, and then you get Logic, which is just an upgraded version of that for like real plugins, real recording and stuff. It was very user friendly to learn how to use, and you can make great records on it. But I asked that because like I know like the state of independent music right now is recording on your own. You're recording on your own? Are you mixing and mastering as well?
Yeah, I dabble into it, but I'm not the best at it because if you listen to some of my tracks, they'll be like, fuck, you'll hear it like I was listening to my song Maybe I Miss You. That song, I love that song, but it's just like, man, I know I was thinking about taking it off Apple Music and re-releasing it because I know I need to go back in and remix it down.
Editing all the stutters out.
Would you go? Yeah, seriously.
It's just.
Would you go get it mixed?
I would.
Have you ever?
Though, no?
But it's just. Yeah, that's the only thing
have you thought about using like Fiverr?
Oh, Fiverr?
Yeah.
I think I have the app of that.
You know what?
Isn't it?
It's so crazy how many talented people are doing it for super cheap right now because we're in this place of everyone's offering this service, and most people can kind of like somewhat do it on their own. So they're like, "Hey, yo, I'll do it better for you for like."
$5.
Yeah.
$10.
It'd be like $300, $400, but like, well, I mean, but think about it. When you're going to the studio, you're paying for one song. You're probably the minimum you're going to pay is $1,200 at minimum to get a full package done.
Yeah.
And That's
You master your own stuff?
no. We pay for it.
Yeah, you could tell the difference though when people get their stuff mastered, because then it's like you put in your car and you're like, oh damn, this shit sounds like it's on the radio.
Yes.
Like, you know, like you got the low ends, the mids, the highs, all like 3D, you know, like all around you, instead of like it just.
Well, now they
like
have Atmos mixing too, which is a whole different ball game.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been doing it for a while. Some days I'll have it good, and then some days I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? You know, like
I was gonna ask you that because like I've had some mixes on my stuff, like on my demos.
Yeah.
And we have this one song that it's probably we're not gonna release, but we were like, holy crap, like my demo sounds really good.
Yeah.
And then I did some demos like way after that, and I'm like, do I have no skills anymore? Like, do I not know what I'm doing? Because like this sounds like absolute crap.
Yeah.
I have no idea how I did that first one.
To me, it's like whatever the gods want for me that day. You know, like damn, like
Hey, we're close to the end now, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for driving all the way over here,
thank
man.
you for having me, man.
much, man.
Before we go, we always ask you two things. One, where all your socials are, where people can listen to your music and all that. And then two, any last messages you got for our listeners.
all right.
We'll start with that. We'll start with the social media first.
My social media, it's pretty much the same on all my accounts. It's
Spell
for my YouTube account and my Spotify and Apple Music, it's all, or any music streaming, it's I_DOUBL3. And then for my Instagram, which I'm like always on, and that's I_Ira. It's Ira1. It's the same way I spell I double, but then it's _Ira, IRA1. And I had to do that to make my new account because I was trying to get my followers back after I got hacked, and no one wanted to like fucking follow me no more and shit. Because all my friends were like, "Hey, bro, I just saw you yesterday, but you never told me you had a clothing line. Do you want me to click on this?" And I was like, "Nah, bro, stay away. And then all of a sudden, hella friends were like, "Bro, I just got fucking hacked and this and that." And I'm like, "Man, my bad, bro.
That ain't me."
I try to go on Facebook and tell people, but
Oh my god.
only my grandparents seen that.
Yeah.
You know.
Hilarious.
So I was just like, man, I was like, I try to warn people, but yeah, they fucked that shit up though. But I'm trying to get my followers back again, and I just want to be able to keep making music and freaking bring my sound to a city near you. You know, like or a country. That'd be fun.
Hey, man.
You know, that's what I want. That's all I want.
Maybe go to Sri Lanka. You never know.
Yeah. Fucking see my little moped.
Exactly.
Or on the back.
What was his name? What was his name?
It was a shout out to my homeboy. Damn.
Damn, that's a good name.
I forgot his name.
No, it's all good. He cut your sound earlier, so no shout out.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, thank you for coming out, bro.
Thank you,
man.
Thank you.
That's been the Voice Party.
And we're
Thank you guys. Man, thank you guys.
It's been fantastic.